that one way to get closer to God and to one's own self is by chanting. I had hoped that everybody here would like chanting because then I don't have to say anything. Right now, I feel the presence of God everywhere, inside, around me. I think it might be the new coffee I'm drinking, or could be from all of you. And I'm disappointing you without having a set satsang. And I'm sorry about that. But let's just wing it. If you have any questions, ask. If you have anything to say it. If you have any coffee to drink, drink it.
Beer?
Beer?
That's debatable.
I got a beer can.
Oh, shit.
Michael wants a beer. Okay, you can have a beer. There is this kind of musical ecstasy always within us, within reach. If we learn how to chant anything, it's available to us. Our minds stop and bliss rolls in. The music doesn't cause the bliss. Satsang does. The God in me speaks to the God in you. Telling you to remember who you are. Now, teachers have been selling you that line for oh so long. But it has a purpose. If you turn your attention around towards your heart, your chest, your lowered breath, you feel your own silence and your own bliss, which is always there. Doing chanting as a regular thing in satsang brings that bliss to you directly. So that you can realize your true beingness. It's not what you feel. after a night of watching television. It's what you feel. When you talk to someone filled up with God. Even me. Well, God has come to me and anointed me. Whoops, he's leaving too. That was quick. Boing, I'm on. Boing, boing, I'm off. What a miracle it is to have him. He's so young. He's under 3. We'll likely have him in a long time.
He's very collected.
That's one of the advantages of pets. Is you love them instantaneously. Or if not, after 3 or 4 days, you'll love them. Just having them around. Even if you've never had anybody or anything around your house at all. Satsang combined with a cat or a dog. Can leave you ecstatic. Just join into that deep stuff within you. Turn your attention around, away from the satsang, and into yourself. Feel your awareness sinking deeper and deeper into who you are. And you begin to feel a little bit like you did when the music was playing. It stops your mind. When your mind is stopped, you're already engaged with the higher power, your own self, and God manifest. Now, you question my assertion that there's a God around. That's okay. But you have to find him for yourself. He or she is right there in your heart of hearts. That's there when you close your eyes and you feel within. You don't need to do anything else. In a short while of a few days doing this, you'll feel God within you as a feeling state. That I could describe as initially beautiful and rapturous. It takes you away from everyday life. And puts you into this special place. where you can feel God within you and around you and everywhere. Then his presence is not so distant as when you're by yourself and thinking. Feeling his presence really requires you to shut up and get out of your mind. And a willingness to accept the presence of God within you and around you everywhere. But it takes you a while to find it. It takes satsang. Where you can chant and listen about this special state that you may not feel now. But when you do find it and feel it, it'll guide your life every step. That invisible presence of the divine becomes your constant companion. You won't care whether you hear anything again. The power about knowing tomorrow is not part of it. What you're doing is knowing yourself now, without mind, without ideas, just on a feeling level. And I take you to a feeling level which is universal, a feeling of God within, and how that state settles downwards until you are it. And one can say you're in bliss, but that sounds like an Eastern version. What it really feels like is you're one with yourself. Your mind isn't filled with all the busyness of everyday life. Which becomes a holy life the less you pay attention to what you want or what you need. Because when you find yourself alone, so close to God, the feeling of divinity washes through you immediately and takes you to a different world. A world that's always present once you find it. It's always there. It's always filled with the bliss of happiness of being close to God. That's how a religious person would put it. I don't know how a non-religious person would put it. It's to know that automatic delight that you can find within you immediately, forever. It's always with you. Just sink into it in satsang. And it'll always be with you. And the happiness will grow over time. But there's nothing more to do anymore except to be quiet and be yourself. You listen to sacred music and it changes from something rough, possibly with musical instruments, into something that's smooth and full of God and the joy of God, of knowing God, which is the joy of knowing yourself. But if you try to get this feeling for yourself without satsang, it'll never come. God waits for there to be a group that wants to hear his name. And he comes and visits that place. He comes in different ways. In Buddhists, he comes as silence, as stillness, as emptiness. As Christians, as Mass. As finding the devotion to God within. And it can become ecstatic. There's nowhere to go, nothing to do. The happiness of your own self washes over you as something new that you've never known before. It's peace. It's deliciousness knowing. But there's this happiness within always. And what it demands is you be willing and able to follow it and feel it. Open yourself to that yearning for God within.
Whoa.
Feel it within you now. The peace of God. The ecstasy of knowing and being submerged in God, which is yourself. When you sit by yourself into that presence of God, you become totally silent. And you become filled with his bliss. This is one way of finding and realizing God. You do it as a feeling within yourself. That can come to you when you're alone, but much more often comes when you're in a spiritual group. That's worshiping something beyond your normal mind and being. The silence is so vast. It just takes you with it. Like a roller coaster. Takes you on as a helpless passenger. And you're quite glad that it did come. For it calls you to a place you don't normally experience by yourself. The emptiness of God. Not of things, not of wealth, not of knowledge. Not of money. This feeling is so far from the feeling of money that I tell you, get rich and feel the opposite of how it makes you feel. To be poor beyond belief. And the only thing left is not even yourself anymore, but the breath of God waiting for you. You always have it in you. You've experienced it time after time. So how do you make it your own? This way. Satsang. But hopefully the teacher remembers that today is Satsang day and not someday in the future that he has to make some time to think of what to say. He's telling you, I don't know what's going on, and I don't fucking care, because I'm awash in the presence of God within me and around me and everywhere. It's like that song, first one I ever learned from Self-Realization Fellowship. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. Can you find that one to play, Michael?
You're gonna.
Yeah, you're
Anybody else can find it? If they can find it, just wait for it. Wait for the music to start. And the first place you'll hear it is inside of yourself. Be like a little.
Come, sing with me and feel you are singing to his listening presence right within you and around you, everywhere.
Everywhere.
Beautiful, oh God, beautiful, oh God, beautiful, oh God, beautiful. At thy feet, oh, I do bow. At thy feet, oh, I do bow. Oh God, beautiful, oh God, beautiful. In the forest, thou art green. In the forest, thou art green. In the mountain, thou art high. In the mountain, thou art high. In the rivers, thou art restless. In the river, thou art restless. In thy ocean, thou art brave. In thy ocean, thou art brave. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. At thy feet, oh, I do bow. At thy feet, oh, I do bow. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. To the service good, thou art service. To the service good, thou art service. To the lover, thou art love. To the lover, thou art love. To the sorrowful, thou art sympathy. To the sorrowful, thou art sympathy. To thy yogi, thou art bliss. To thy yogi, thou art bliss. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. At thy feet, oh, I do bow. At thy feet, oh, I do bow. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. In the forest, thou art free. In the forest, thou art free. In the mountain, thou art high. In the mountain, thou art high. In the rivers, thou art restless. In the river, thou art restless. In thy ocean, thou art brave. In thy ocean, thou art brave. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. At thy feet, oh, I do bow. At thy feet, oh, I do bow. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. To the service good, thou art service. To the service good, thou art service. To the lover, thou art love. To the lover, thou art love. To the sorrowful, thou art sympathy. To the sorrowful, thou art sympathy. To thy yogi, thou thou art great. In the mountain thou art high. In the mountain thou art high. In the river thou art restless. In the river thou art restless. In thy ocean thou art great. In thy ocean thou art great. Oh God beautiful, oh God beautiful, oh God beautiful, oh God beautiful. At thy feet, oh, I do bow. At thy feet, oh, I do bow. Oh God beautiful, oh God beautiful. To the successful, thou art service. To the successful, thou art service. To the lover, thou art love. To the lover, thou art love. To the sorrowful, thou art sympathy. To the sorrowful, thou art sympathy. To the yogi, thou art bliss. To the yogi, thou art bliss. Oh God beautiful, oh God beautiful, oh God beautiful, oh God beautiful. At thy feet, oh, I do bow. At thy feet, oh, I do bow. Oh God beautiful, oh God beautiful, oh God beautiful,
Now, I lived in a very conventional, ordinary household in Cleveland, Ohio. I'd never heard of Buddhism or Hinduism or any of these things. But I felt something in reading the words, listening to the Satsang piecemeal over the radio somehow. I don't even know whether it was broadcast at that time. I don't think it was. But here I am, 13 years old. And I ordered this record from Self-Realization Fellowship. And when it came, I was astounded. It was like nothing I ever heard before in spirituality. The strange thing is, the bhakti is like Yogananda. Never got along with the thinking people. The story is Yogananda went to his teacher. I forget the names back then, who's who, and was telling him, teacher, about all he had accomplished and done in the world for spirituality. He was hoping for some approval. But Ramana didn't say anything. I think I remember He had some words about spirituality, but they'd never reach it. The way he presented it. Because God can't be found in nature, but has to be found within silence within oneself. And what this tune does is to bring your spiritual inside outside. So it can grab you when you're aware of it. And it becomes the totality of your being. And you become lost. In this union with God. Then you become a nutcase. And you have satsang, 3 or 4 of you and your friends. And you invite one of your spiritual teachers to attend. And instead of accepting it as a gift, he gets angry. And he says, this is not the way. But the thing is, if you felt God in a chant, if you can feel it right now, sitting in silence here in satsang, you know that God is in you and with you everywhere. And that solves everything. There's no more problems after that. You just give the problem to him, Yogananda, or God, or whoever else is in charge in your mind. Give it away. Give the bad shit away to somebody else. And you'll find peace. Or, you see, these words about what you'll find are very limited. I'd say that you find God, but that's only one way of putting it. You could also say you find the divine chord within you, with the sound of the universe playing over and over and over again, telling about its love for you and how your love for the world can bring you unending happiness. And there are places there in India where hundreds of people live. In relative happiness because they don't have much. Because if they fit in, they don't need it. You have to find the teacher that you feel comfortable with and want to be around. One who takes you to this place of bliss where there's no more to do. You're caught in God's web of attraction, just wanting to hear his voice, talking about his message of no message, and just feeling the Shakti within. The feeling of God within, brought to you by the power God without, as broadcast, as articulated from books and verses. Devotion to the old ways leads to the presence of God to manifest within you. Be still. I know God within. I can talk about him. I can talk about the ecstasy that I'm left with when I dive within myself. I can sing along with the chants. And the more I sing with them, the deeper I sink into holiness and bliss. This is one way to live in God constantly. You're among musical people who express their devotion by chanting. It's a very simple way. Shit, you don't even have to explain it. You just bring some of the records from Self-Realization Fellowship and you listen to them. And you feel the presence of God within you. And when you're hearing it, you feel, this is it. This is my origin. This is my happiness. This is where I belong, always. But you can't tolerate that feeling always because you're not used to it. You're not used to experiencing your own bliss all by yourself. You're waiting for someone to sing about this within themselves. That song by Yogananda was really written for somebody like that. Come, listen to me. Follow me and feel the bliss within. And they did. And they lived happily and they died happily. But they never did anything with it. They didn't build big buildings. because they were so busy listening and feeling the joy within themselves. They didn't have time for the world. But they're always eager to give their joy to others. And that joy deepens over time. Deepens. Until the time comes when it's so familiar to you that it can come to you in the middle of the day while you're reading a book or cooking a recipe or building a wall, and you become enchanted. And you have to stop because you're no longer a human being in the world. But you're now aware of the connection between the divine and you and how it feels. With this feeling, it grows over time until Michael sneezes and wakes everybody up. It's within you, Jay. But you seem disturbed today anyway. No. Okay. Now a cat sneezes. Waiting for Karima to sneeze next.
That bullshit perfume that's sneaking out of that plastic box over there.
Michael blames it on the perfume coming from a box. I think he's going to kill it. Shows you how infused he is with God.
You're poisoning me, right, with that.
So what?
Right,
Welcome it. Welcome it.
Well, now kick it out of you.
Can you play Oh God Beautiful again?
Come, sing with me and feel you are singing to his listening presence right within you and around you, everywhere. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. At thy feet, oh, I do bow. At thy feet, oh, I do bow.
Selena, you can chant.
Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. In the forest, thou art green. In the forest, thou art green. In the mountain, thou art high. In the mountains, thou art high. In the rivers, thou art restless. In the rivers, thou art restless. In thy ocean, thou art brave. In thy ocean, thou
thy feet, oh, I do bow.
At
At thy feet, oh, I do bow. Oh God, beautiful, oh God, beautiful.
To the serviceful, thou art service.
Service
To
to
the
the
serviceful,
serviceful.
thou
Thou
art
art
service. To
service
the lover, thou art love.
of
To
to
the
the
lover,
lover,
thou
thou
art
art
love.
love.
To the sorrowful, thou art sympathy. To the sorrowful, thou art sympathy. To the yogi, thou art bliss. To the yogi, thou art bliss. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. At thy feet, oh, I do bow. At thy feet, oh, I do bow. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. In the forest, thou art free. In the forest, thou art free. In the mountain, thou art high. In the mountain, thou art high. In the river, thou art restless. In the river, thou art restless. In the ocean, thou art great. In the ocean, thou art great. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. At thy feet, oh, I do bow. At thy feet, oh, I do bow. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. To the serviceful, thou art service. To the serviceful, thou art service. To the lover, thou art love. To the lover, thou art love. To the sorrowful, thou art sympathy. To the sorrowful, thou art sympathy. To the yogi, thou art bliss. To the yogi, thou art bliss. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. At thy feet, oh, I do bow. At thy feet, oh, I do bow. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. In the forest, thou art free. In the forest, thou art free. In the mountain, thou art high. In the mountain, thou art high. In the river, thou art restless. In the river, thou art restless. In the ocean, thou art great. In the ocean, thou art great. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. At thy feet, oh, I do bow. At thy feet, oh, I do bow. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. To the serviceful, thou art service. To the serviceful, thou art service. To the lover, thou art love. To the lover, thou art love. To the sorrowful, thou art sympathy. To the sorrowful, thou art sympathy. To the yogi, thou art bliss. To the yogi, thou art bliss. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. At thy feet, oh, I do bow. At thy feet, oh, I do bow. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful.
There was no self-realization fellowship in Cleveland when I joined the organization, or I would have been there every day. But can you imagine a 13-year-old receiving this record of something totally outside of Cleveland's cognizance,
Yes.
the spirituality that one feels in some way, listening to that tune, listening to that devotional, listening that where Yogananda is trying to connect a vision of God that's equivalent to the best qualities in all of us, the yearnings in us. But over time, it gives way, those ideas, to just feeling within, the divine within us all, within the silence, within the peace of not moving or not chanting. It's there. God is there. It's within you. So just stop thinking and chant. Get to know that feeling of his presence within you and around you everywhere. And you can say it that way too. To the presence of the infinite, which I feel within me and around me and everywhere, and which I feel as bliss or happiness or love. I worship you. I bow down and worship you. I surrender myself, the impure, to your purity, to your radiance, to your bliss. I have found my bliss in you and everyone around me has that same bliss. It may be experienced differently or in different means. Some may feel it when sailing on the ocean, others in midst of an earthly battle. But we can all hear it in our own way, in our own time. The God within, in his lingering presence within and around us everywhere, all the time. This is Bhakti Yoga. Recognizing the presence of God within and without, surrendering to it, listening to it, being captured by it. Okay. Garima, can you say something? A benediction? That's all. She doesn't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Well,
I asked the wrong person.
silence.
Mark, I'm asking you.
What you're asking me, Edgy?
What the hell is it all about?
It's all about this.
Pretty good.
I want to say a couple things though, since you're looking for someone else to relieve you of the need to speak, I assume. So at some point, I don't know exactly when, but at some point, I was aware that I was continuously abiding in presence. So there's all kinds of ways of stating that, but I think you know what I mean. And so what surprises me is the increasing physicality of the process. So we think of this as something that has to do with understanding, it's cerebral, or it's wispy, it's otherworldly or something, but it's really grounded in the body and in the physical perceptions and sensations at this point in my development. It wasn't always. So the one question I have for you, though, is that I've recently come to realize that I have a very strong perception of what are called subtle energies, and also what you sometimes refer to as the life force as part of that. So I don't think that's part of everyone's experience here. I think I'm pretty sure it's not, just from having talked to people. It is some folks' experience, I'm sure. I'm not that rare, but yeah, the physical part of it is increasingly becoming stronger and more obvious. The other stuff was always there, but the physical stuff is anchoring it in a way that wouldn't be possible otherwise for me. And it just keeps deepening. And I have the actual direct physical experience of awareness abiding in awareness, or energy abiding in energy. And it just deepens, extends itself out. You've said before that it's like living in a higher dimension. Exactly. It's like living in the higher dimension that was always there. It's always there, but it was intermittent.
How is it for you now?
How is it for me now? It's exactly what I'm describing. It's like right now I could feel strong. I could feel energy circulation in me and in my body and around me as part of what I'm talking about. It's not the whole thing, but it's a component of it. And the thing that interests me is where the energy seems to be most vividly felt. And for me, it's frequently in my insteps and my feet, around that area. Now, I do a lot of walking. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe it's just a very I actively exercise part of my body, but the instep seems to be a very vivid place for presence, euphoria, but other places too. But the insteps, I don't know what the significance of that is. But the other thing I want to say is that on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Arizona time, I am now hosting a session where I start a topic and we have discussions, and also some chant perhaps. So that's not at the revised time, it's at the original time of 11 a.m. Arizona on Wednesday that we're doing this now. And everyone's invited, including you, Edgy. Okay, I've done my thing.
Mark, I'd like to tell you, I think you're great. And I used to think you needed to be seen as great. And you are great. And the less need for you to be seen as great, the more I appreciate your greatness. That's all I want to tell you.
Thank you, Michael. That was warmly accepted and appreciated. Thank you.
I think he was saying the more you shut up, the greater you should be.
No.
No?
I don't.
What were you saying, Michael?
Is that a question?
Yeah.
What was the question?
What are you trying to say?
Oh, I just appreciate Mark.
Oh, okay.
And they still, to me, he always voiced this word in the past, but a little, I judged as premature, seeking like validation from you, from his understanding, and he was like seeking, or at least for me, I perceived it as he was seeking some validation. I'm not saying that you are, but I'm just saying at least it was perceived that way. And now you don't seem to me like you're needing that validation anymore, and your greatness is just shining. Your understanding is clearing up. And you've been interesting to observe for the last 3-4 years since COVID time, where I started paying attention to you, or you started coming around more frequently, consistently rather.
Thank you, Michael. Same to you. I appreciate you. I appreciate your clarity and your conviction and your presence. So thank you. But everyone's invited to Wednesday if you want to come. It'll be a shindig. And to be fair, I have developed a lot in the last year and a half or so.
You have.
I'll
But
try to remember
Yeah,
Satsang next time.
yeah, we'll play your song. Oh God, beautiful.
Can you imagine a 13-year-old standing by one of those old record players
Awesome.
and just standing there transfixed by the bliss I was feeling? And I never expected something like that to come out of a record.
There's been a movie made about you.
I guess we've lost the seekers who have no bhakti. The ones that go by mind alone think their way into heaven, usually by becoming quieter and quieter and doing exactly what we do, which is to just shut up and be. But it's a different approach altogether to the divine. Here we talk about the manifestation of God within the divine, which to me sounds like all bullshit except to make you feel good. And I'll take that movement of bliss within based on the movement of it outside trying to grab people. Just remember, oh God, beautiful. Anyway, take care. I love you all. And if other people want to fill up the other days with satsangs, we can have a Monday satsang, a Wednesday satsang, a Friday satsang, a Sunday satsang. Take care. The presence of God is within you, as you. The less attention you pay to the world and its problems and your own problems, the more you'll be able to feel it. Until you directly begin doing chanting on your own, maybe in silence, or with a record, or with a group. When you do it with a group, you'll feel the bliss. That's something you have to discover for yourself. That certain spiritual practices do one thing and other practices do something else. Take care and look within yourself. Always, always, always just look within. And by looking within, I mean apprehend the entirety of your body by feeling alone. Your eyes are closed. Just become aware of the totality of who and what you are, but especially of having a body. Sink into that body sensation. And feel God's grace therein by just watching yourself and being yourself. Because you are an emissary of God. Just has to bliss out in you before you become a teacher. Take care. I love you all. Bye-bye.